and I know this is the last session, and I completely understand how tough it is to listen to one of the seminars on Friday evening. But still, I will ensure you that you will have little takeaways from this session. Is it okay? Okay, one small request from all of you. Can you please clap for yourself for staying here for this presentation? Because I know the toughness because I am also a research scholar and I'm a last bencher and I can understand Friday evenings at 5:30. So, but still I am promising you that you will be having a little bit takeaways from my presentation, right? And I am cut shorting the all Q&A sessions as well because mostly I would like to, tell like what is the benefit of this particular POC, what I have built on, and how it actually helped me in terms of some business maximization and everything, right? Is that okay? Please make some sound here, some sound. Yeah, thank you so much. So the title of this project is like Digital Campaign Marketing Using Cluster Analysis for Effective Campaigning. So after listening to all the Gen AI projects and case studies, this is just like a cherry on the cake, and it's good to have cherry at the evening only. So I will keep it at a very lighter note and I will finish it in 15 minutes. I promise you that, right? See, sometimes when we talk about business problem statements and when we deal with couple of stakeholders, we end up facing multiple types of stakeholders, right? Some say that, okay, fine, we are giving you the data. Make it speak something for us. Yes or no? And some stakeholders say that, no, we don't want to give any data. Show me your capabilities. Thereby, if I am impressed with your capabilities, I will give you some business to you. That's how the business goes on. And if you are directly tagged to one client, the story is okay. You are part of only your deliverables and you will move with that. That is easy going on. Right. So this particular project, when I was basically working on, the ask was very weird. They said that we won't give you the data, but show us something. It's like asking to drive a car without giving a car. That was my situation. Okay, what we have done is like this entire email market segmentation came up. Can you please go to next slide? Yeah. Let me get it in this format. What is the business understanding? We got it from here. What is the business case? And what data collection and understanding I got it during that particular phase of life. And the technique clustering we all know here. And the interpretation and the recommendations that we have given through this entire exercise. So let me walk through these things and all. Next slide, please. Yeah. So today the trend of email marketing is very massive because most of us customer can be easily reachable over mail than a call, right? Which is very evident. Right now in this particular seminar, if you get a marketing call which is of your favorite interest also, you can't pick the call because you are here. But if it is basically communicated in the form of a mail, if not here, even at night also you can look your mail and you can basically look into that, right? So the reach point or the connect point would be much more better through email rather than a phone connect. We all know that, right? So that's why business also understood that logic and they would like to understand like, okay, if I try to do a customer acquisition through this particular email campaigning, what business benefits I could gain. And again, here the major benefits are like when we actually connect to a customer through this particular mode, there would be high ROI, definitely. And again, it's a traceable and measurable. Why it is called traceable and measurable? Because when we send any email to one particular customer, we get to know that whether he opened or not. Yes or no? And whether he clicked on the given link or not, whether he is utilizing the offer or not. We can get to know all these things and they are very much traceable enough. And the next thing is like, if I get to know the customer behavior, I could basically look at the acquisition and retention, right? Once I acquire a customer and if he's listening to me, even though my competitor is coming a bigger role, still I could basically plan my retention strategy. And again, it's all about humanization of the campaign because mostly we approach customers through campaigns. So what best campaigns I could basically cater to my customers and what could be the strategy of my campaigning I could basically adopt. So all these things are business benefits for me and I will take you through the next slide. Yes, segmentation for win. See, it's like the entire idea is like the marketing team came and they said like they have 1 lakh rupees budget, but they want to spend only on 100 people, but the customer database is 1000. So whom should I target for, right? So definitely I do target for the people who are listening to me. Thereby I can gain maximum ROI. So that's the reason when we basically segment the customers with respect to the respective KPIs, we would be having some larger benefits accordingly. Next slide. Yeah, this is the data part I'm talking about. And if any freshers in the room, I'm just telling like even you can keep it on your resume as a knowledge summary, of course not an experience summary, because this is something like massively helped multiple interns wherever I went and delivered this. And I think like still same thing applies over here also. So here the customers are targeted and segmented in a way that So how many customers I do have? How many mails I sent to a particular customer? For example, there is a customer A. I sent him 100 mails. But out of 100, how many he opened it? Though he opened the mail, how many he actually clicked it? Even though he clicked it, how many basically be converted? Convert means in the sense that he has done some business with me, right? And again, how many number of orders that he has placed? What is the quantity and what is the order amount? And the data shape looks like this, like we have considered totally 6 months data with all the campaigns information. And the number of unique customers here are 3000. Of course, it's a wrong number since I kept it like I don't want to open the real number. And the number of campaigns that we consider are 50. So this is the entire data shape for me. Next slide, please. Yeah, again, I don't need to bother much about this slide. I have done the cluster analysis over here. The moment when the clustering is done, so we know the part that mostly we standardize the data when we do the clustering, and we look into the dendrogram or we look into the scree plot to do the respective interpretation. But however, I just want to add one point over here. When we are using cluster analysis using R, there is one particular function which is available, which I would like to give a takeaway now, which will help us to calculate the agglomerative coefficient. What does it mean? See, basically in hierarchical clustering, if somebody is into technical part, we have Watts method, we have linkage method, we have etc. many methods. But how do you know that which method is really a best method for you, even though it is coming under hierarchical clustering? So for that, we do have a coefficient called agglomerative coefficient, which will help us to identify if the agglomerative coefficient value is close to 1, that has best cluster resolving power. So through that, can you please move to next slide? Yeah, I have methods to access over there, and I got Watts method which is standing somewhere around 0.97. So I shortlisted saying that this is the best model for me. Thereby, I can use this as a statistical proof why I choose that particular method. Now again, another set of, previous. I am too fast, you are too more fast. Yeah, now here the scree plot is also telling like how many optimal number of clusters I could basically arrive over here, and a slight dendrogram, which is only for fancy graphical purpose, nothing much to do with that. But however, I do have some statistical justification saying that out of the given database of customers, how I basically clustered them, and I could basically give some sort of statistical justification. Hey, these are all the proofs that I am correct with respect to my cluster number. Is that okay? Thank you. And moving on next. Yeah, this is something where business likes. When we deal with a couple of stakeholders, some people like to listen what they want to listen, right? Whatever your data wants to convey you, they don't like. Have you faced it? Right, so they want to listen to the story what they want, especially the business team. But they really don't want to know what actually the data wants to convey. Right, but what to do? We also need to survive. So we need to fit in their language what they like the best, correct? But in order to keep the things simple, what are the clusters I have arrived? They are basically profiled them as active and engaged. Second one is passive mediums. Third one is needs nurture. And fourth one are lapsed customers. This is how the entire database has been categorized or segmented. Please move to next. Last slide. Yeah, these are all the couple of recommendations. See, like, let's talk about the active and engaged. Now, who are active and engaged? Basically, like, who are listening to the business more, right? So, like, whenever I'm sending an email to them, they are opening it and they are buying something from me. So, they are very potential customers to me and they are very much actively and engaged. Now, I need to basically take care of them very properly, yes or no? Suppose, like, if I sent a mail and if they are basically, like, listening to me, it's okay, story is good. Since they are listening to me, if I am bombarding them with multiple mails, with broadcasting mails and all, what he will do? Can I answer now? He will say get lost. In a way saying that he will unsubscribe me. Yes or no? So that's the reason. So whenever you are troubling any particular customer within the or exceeding the threshold, so definitely you will lead to some sort of unsubscription rate, which is kind of a damaging, correct? So that's the reason how to handle the customers who are very much potential to you and who is very much listening to you. So for that, some of the basic recommendations, these are not completely. So right offers to the right customer is always important. And personalization required. So when a particular customer is very much potential to me, I need to pay a little bit more personalization on him. Thereby, he will be a loyal customer for me for a longer time. And again, stop broadcasting. Let's not do that. That's for this particular group. And for passive mediums, so action plan for retaining, right? So passive mediums are always dangerous. So they always tend to attract with the competitor. So what are the strategies that we need to include? or what are the tactics that we need to include to retain them. And next one is campaigns improvement to promote. So we cannot actually justify the same campaign, same type of campaigns to all the customers. So we need to customize and understand the pulse of the customers on every changing time and need to improvise the campaigning strategy. And the last one is here, yeah, broadcasting is slightly allowed. And coming to needs nurture, focus on answering rate, sorry, continuous nurturing is required, broadcast email is allowed. And this is the story. Now let's focus on the lapsed customers. Who are lapsed? So when we talk about lapsed, means they are not at all listening to us, right? Whatever you do or what you did something which they didn't like. That's the way they are called lapsed customers. Now, for any business, customer is God, which is a known story. Now, if I think like they are not listening to me, they are lapsed customers, should I ignore them? Yes or no? At least please say yes or no. Only 2 more minutes. No, right? So we should not basically ignore a customer even though he is not potential. See, we should always think in a view that if he is my customer and he is not listening to me means there is something fault within me, right? I am not basically promoting a product which he likes. So I should put blame on me. Yes or no? Then thereby, if I come up with that particular point of view and if I shift my gears in order to understand the customer better, then I can correct myself and I will not let him go to my competitor. Yes or no? So in that way, the major recommendations for labs customers are like measure the impact of wrong plans, right? Right now we all are connected through MLDS, some machine learning and all. What if I'm delivering some chemistry session here? Even though relevant also, audience are slightly less. If chemistry means, you know it better than me. That means what's the wrong plan, right? So here also wrong plan means in the sense we are not catering the right things to the right people and create a different rules and categorize them. See, this particular set of group is not listening to me. But I cannot take a common call for all the non-listeners. Again, I need to subdivide them and understand them better, then do the recommendations accordingly. That should be one more better strategy to work on. And the last one is like here also, we trouble them like, we say that, okay, broadcasting allowed. No, here also the caution is that we should not basically do too much of broadcasting emails to them. We will also keep a threshold how much we need to basically trouble them with sort of broadcasting mailing and all. Right? So these are all the couple of recommendations given. I know there are many things beyond it, but I don't want to take your more time because it's Friday night. And yeah, that's about this. And why I took this particular easy case study for timing is that it is easy to articulate to anybody. Suppose if you would like to take it as a POC in your company, I'm not saying that it's a Bible, it could give at least 1% info for you to develop it better. And if you are basically a student, you can think on it and you can improvise it better and you could keep it on your resume as a knowledge summary, not as an experience summary. And since with the minimum data, how we could basically gain maximum ROI, either in terms of reality, I mean to say in production area, or as a POC mode, you can actually deal with your stakeholders. So that's the intention of keeping this slide and this shortlisting this particular topic, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.